Die rolls. They were my enemy today. Um, but I was also a bit of my own enemy, as we saw in the last game. If I just paid a little more attention, could have done fine. I mulled the one land-hander. I had like some things in it that I looked at and I said, well, if I draw any land, and I have a lot of land, but I didn't think it was really worth the trouble, so I just snap mulled and kept this, thinking, decent thing on turn 2, decent thing on turn 3, I can draw live things. That's a live thing, okay, feeling pretty good. Looking around here, and why is Miko making noise? Where is it? Mute. Okay. Sorry about that. So I'm all like, yeah, I gotta get in there, get a bunch of damage done. And then he plays a Predator Ooze, which basically just tells my deck you're not allowed to do things. There. And it's just gonna keep getting bigger and eating things, and it's a pretty nasty little card. Good things you can deal with it with is things that are in black, and I didn't have any of those. Tragic Slips and whatnot. But yeah. So what happened here is I just play a second wolf, thinking, good things will come from that. Beginning to think I should have maybe, like playing a Hell Rider next turn, and he blocks the Hell Rider twice. Maybe good things will come from it. I don't know. But what ended up happening was it didn't work out for me. So that hits the battlefield. He plays a knight, and at this point, this plus a knight exalted trigger. Miko, calm down. What is wrong with you? Was not ending well for me. I could have attacked with everything there, but I think at this point, the game was pretty well over. As you can see, I just been drawing land. Is there a way to make this go any slower? Jeez. I'll try the settings next round. But yeah, so basically I'm just sitting here saying, yep, this is fun. I'm just getting beat down by this, and then he puts that down, and at this point I'm pretty much dead. I swing for everything just to see for fun how much damage I can do. Come to find out, 33 drops down to 29 off the triggers, and then 25. So it wasn't that much. This gets bigger, that gets bigger, and I scoop. So that was game 1. Game 2, I jump into and I say, yeah, totally, play first. Again, a mulligan, because it was just a bad hand. Didn't have much good in it. This is a 2-lander that just, everything can get cast, so why not? Play my Crucible, beat for 1, Chain Walker, say go. I'm feeling pretty good about this. He hasn't hit anything black. Strangler-Geist is kind of annoying, but Pillar Flames are really good against that card. So then I beat him again, and I get him down to 14. Now I have 6 power on board. Oh, look at that. Now it's 8. And then he's all like, hey, I got this thing called a Strangler-Geist. You ever hear of it? And I'm like, yeah, I heard it dies really good to Pillar Flame. But he has a Ranger's Guile, which is like strange to me that he'd be playing that. I guess it's sideboard tech against like burn decks and control-y things like black and red. I don't know. I'm assuming it was more for bigger creatures or more powerful, cool creatures, but he wanted to use it on this little guy. Look at him, so cute with his neck all twisted up. Actually, a little creepy. But then I say, you know what goes really good with a Strangler-Geist that's big? Me not attacking, because I don't want to lose him for no value. He then plays an Arbor Elf as I change the size of Miko so it doesn't look stupid. I say I'll swing for everything, and Hellion Crucible gets a counter, and he ultimate prices my Chain Walker. He comes back, and yeah, I get him down to 12. He attacks in. I'm like, okay, cool. Swinging with my cackler. He double blocks it. I'm a fan of the 2-for-1, so I say okay. Pop him back down. Um, I don't think he realized that I could do this turn, which is why he attacked. Or this is what I thought. And I didn't want to just attack with it willy-nilly and be like, haha, look at me, how cool I am. So I use this kind of like a trap because I think some people don't really know what's going on. Come to find out, he did. He had an ultimate prize. But I just kind of kept battling, ripping things off the top of my deck that I kind of needed. Managed to get him down to like 10, but a Lol Troll is good. And I swing for the fences, trading stuff off, getting a little bit of damage, and basically just trying my best to, not die for a little bit. As soon as I saw that he didn't have any black mana open, I Searing Spear the Lol Troll. He undies, but I still managed to get in for 2, which is probably what I would have got in for anyways, given that the didn't happen. He plays a bear fight, fight bear, bear fight. But I'm still need any burn spell. That's not a burn spell though. So I get another 2, and I'm like, Stromkirk Noble, you're so good. And then he ends up not having an answer to the Pyre Heart Wolf. If he did have like an ultimate price or really anything, another creature, well, he couldn't do creatures I guess, but he needed another creature that's like 2 mana, 2 power to take that out, or 3 toughness rather, so he could then get something else going. But he ended up not getting there, which put us into the deciding match, game 3. Again, I'm 1-1. Three losses get you your money back if you are good tie breaks, and I didn't want to lose another game because it puts me in bad tie breaks. So I say, fine, whatever, I'll just go. Mulled a 5 because there was like triple Pyre Heart Wolf, land, like, and other things, and I was like, nope, not against this deck. And then I was like, well, what's the other things? And I think that was a Mold of 6, and the Mold of 7 wasn't very good either. Again, I'm going to change the settings between rounds so I can actually see opening hands, and play goes a little bit slower, because I can understand it's kind of hard to follow without me narrating like everything. So here I go play. Oh, look, I drew a mountain. Just what I needed. Now I can play Hellrider on turn 4 and have nothing else going on in my life. But I managed to rip a Chainwalker, play it Unleash, say go. Here I'm kind of hoping he stumbles. If he doesn't, I'm in a lot of trouble. And he doesn't. I'm kind of just sitting here saying, please do something. But playing that land untapped made me a little bit nervous. Here I'm just kind of like, I gotta go all in here. Because at this point I'm looking at the board saying, I can get him for 3. I have 3 damage on the declare attacks unless he has an ultimate price. If he does have an ultimate price, I can at least get this threat off the board. Unless he's willing to discard like 2 creatures to it. Or rather 3 creatures to it. And I doubt his whole hand is creatures. And if he is all creatures, I doubt he wants to dish his whole hand just to get this thing big. So I go to begin combat, and look at that, it's ultimate price. So I have a decision. I can spear that and swing in, get in for 2. Or I can kind of sit around doing nothing, and the play was definitely better to do it the way I actually did end up doing it, which was to swing with both, willing to trade off the Lol Troll for one of these dudes, which is probably wrong because I like my only pressure, and I probably should have, oh wait, I couldn't Searing Spear because I tapped out for the Hellrider. So yeah, I couldn't have made that play anyways, but then he plays Greg Mangler, swings in with everything, and hits me down to like 5. Made me sad when I drew this instead of a Hellrider, because if I drew a Hellrider, it would have been extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage, so I still wouldn't have gotten there. But I really just kind of needed something to go my way. That was going to hit for 3, that was going to hit for 2, that was hitting for 3, that was hitting for 2, so I needed to kill like 2 creatures. I wasn't getting there, at least not anytime soon, especially with this being able to regenerate. So basically what happened was I mulled the 5, and although I drew decently, these would have been better on turn 1, just getting it down. This would have been, they just came at the perfect time, and he just had, answers, and I mean, this thing basically is just a giant stop sign for me. I don't know how our deck handles it at all. Um, it's indestructible, so we can't burn it. It gets bigger when it kills things, and it gets bigger when it attacks, so it attacks like twice, and then it just is a wall for the rest of the game. It just eats things forever. It's just scary. I don't know how we deal with it. Same with something like this. If he was willing to like go all in on it, and maybe just like ditch the Greg Mangler end of turn, or even like beginning of turn, just be like, oh, I drew this, ditch it onto that, tap out, make this thing huge. Yes, if I had a burn spell, it would have been great, but I was tapped out anyways, so because I just played the Hellrider, so I think maybe that would have been a cooler play, because then he would have been able to get in for an extra damage and have me down at 4 instead, which would have made either of these guys lethal and this guy absolutely huge. He would have been a 6/5. So he would have just been able to like run over anything I played, basically, short of a Thundermaw Hellkite. And at that point, I would have had to go like land Hellkite the next turn, and if I did that, then I was still dead. So, but yeah, I basically just play that without unleashing it for funsies. Searing Spear and block and survive for a turn because that's only 2 and that's only 2. But Miko twitches out. I drew a Jane Walker and basically said, yeah, I'm dead here. He had a card in hand. I mean, I guess the 6 damage would have mattered a lot more if I had a Hellrider here. And I don't know if we ever actually see the last card in his hand, because he just swings in. But if he did have an ultimate price or something for that, then yeah, we were just kind of dead there. But if it was like a tragic slip or a land that he was holding or another, creature or something that he just didn't want to cast last turn, I mean, I could have just ripped a Hellrider and won, but I didn't really. That's why I was just swinging for the fences with these guys, playing to my out. But I mean, how do you deal with something that's indestructible in a deck that's all burn? No way to kill with save-based effects. This thing that just regenerates if you leave some mana up, undying creatures that you can flash back, and things that kill your threats when they finally come down. I mean, just good Golgari, stompy, oozy things. Oh well. That puts me at 1 and 2. Moving on to round 4. If I went out, locked into top 8, which would be pretty cool. If I lose at all, I'm fighting to win out and get good tiebreakers. So let's see what happens in